Awful. Absolutely awful from Manchester United today. I don't know whether I'm angry about conceding 6 or scoring 3. Scoring 3 the way we did after starting so poorly has triggered me beyond belief. Casemiro not starting, I think Ten Hag's pushed it one game too far. Should have brought him into the lineup. The way we defended from midfield was poor. Delo giving away a foul and getting a booking so early on in that game was poor. The lack of composure, the lack of bottle, the lack of guts when we tried to attack was poor. And I'm not trying to take anything away from City. They will punish you and they will kill you when they can. But they didn't do this to Newcastle. They didn't do this to Crystal Palace. To have it done to us in a Manchester derby is reprehensible from our point of view. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. And I'm so frustrated at the way we performed. And as I've said many times after our recent run of results, that these results were going to happen again. Man United are not gone past this bad period. We are at the beginning of a rebuild, and it's going to take time. Patience with the manager is needed, but pressure on these players needs to ensue because the lack of bottle, the lack of composure, the cowardice from some of these Man United players today is absolutely unacceptable. And irrespective of how good City are, has to be pushed back upon. Has to be pushed back upon. And they were all at it today, especially in that first half. Rashford, Bruno, Eriksen, McTominay. Piss, 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 poor. I'm joined by Jess. Overall, what were your overarching thoughts?
At least Man United won the second half. I think at least you won the second half. No, I'm just kidding. But I think, I actually predicted Man United to win this game. I thought they'd be a lot better than what they put out there. I thought they looked scared in the first half. I thought that, Man City, I do think have some frailties this season that we've seen with other teams. They were able to exploit them at the back. But you can only exploit them if you have confidence, your game plan is together, and your players are not afraid to do the basics. And I think that Manchester United, and in particular, their midfield really struggled to just do the basics, and they got swallowed up by the occasion. I thought Man City just sensed that fear in those players, and they just took advantage. And so, yeah, I think it's a missed opportunity, I think, for Manchester United in terms of just trying to solidify that foundation a little bit more and build that confidence. But, you can't really take anything away from Manchester City. Foden, Grealish, Haaland were just absolutely on smoke today. I thought Foden, this was one of his best performances in a long time. There's been some questions on where he's been. He announced himself today. He's still there. He's an excellent player. And Manchester City just did what they do. They just kind of squash you into nothing and then cruise. And in that cruise moment, Manchester United did score some goals, but it was just a little bit too late. And so, yeah, it was a entertaining game, and I enjoyed it.
No, I bet you did. And look, I think from my point of view, where I disagree, I think City are gettable this year. Most people, even neutrals, said that in the build-up to the game, and there was nothing that happened in the 90 minutes that just changed my mind about that. Yes, we scored 3 goals in the second half, and people will say City took their foot off the gas. They allowed Manchester United to. We had 3 or 4 openings in the first half where if Sancho goes on the inside instead of the outside and doesn't panic, it's 3 versus 2. There was loads of moments when we had openings and opportunities and we panicked, we bottled it, we played the wrong passes. When you do that against Man City, and I said it in the build-up, we could have won today if we got through the opening 20 minutes without conceding and we stuck in. Big Steve even said that. Big Steve predicted City would batter us. But he said if you get through the opening onslaught, anything can happen because we're gettable. So even Man City fans have agreed with me in terms of my premise and my thoughts. And where I feel let down by the Man United players today is they didn't show guts. They didn't show determination. They had no passion for the game. They were cowards today. Everybody hid from responsibility, either defensively from a midfield point of view or in the attack. Hot potato with the ball. I'm going to give it to somebody else or send it long into a space and hope that Rashford runs onto it or hope that Sancho can do a bit of brilliant skill out on the left and create an opportunity. Nobody wanted to take the game by the scruff of the neck. And we've done that in the previous 4 Premier League games. That was what embarrassed me the most today. It was almost, again, reverting to type. Going back to how we played many times under Ollie, back to how we played many times under Ralph Rangnick, with no confidence, no passion, and just no bottle to go, we're Man United and we're going to try and beat you today. Yes, we're going to play pragmatically. There was no way we were going to go to the Etihad and outplay them footballing wise, but it was so poor today. And I'm not taking anything away from City because I praise them on a regular basis. Everyone knows I think Haaland's the best striker in the league right now. Phil Foden is sensational. How people ever question his inclusion in an England squad is crazy. We've got double hat tricks against Man United today. That is sensational. But at the same time, I'm looking at my own team, and there's so many things that we could have done better. What we didn't do, and I use a fighting term for this, we didn't lay a punch on them early enough to make them respect us. And that's what we needed to do, to let them know we are here. Don't think you're just going to run away with this. Instead, we were this tippy-tappy jab. We were, and we demonstrated that we've got a glass jaw, and they smashed us to pieces in the end. And a lot of it was down to the difference in mentality between the two football clubs. On top of that, when their mentality's better and they've got superior quality, you're fucked. To quote the late, great Heavy D, we're fucked. And that's what happened. We're fucked because they had both things. We already knew they had better quality than us. So we had to match them, if not surpass them, on our courage, on our work rate, on our ability to grab the ball by the horns. And we failed to do that today in such a desperate way. And the 6-3 scoreline actually makes me angrier. And the 6-3 scoreline makes me angrier because once we relaxed, once we were out of the game, we moved the ball around better. As soon as the pressure was gone, we played a bit of better football. And that's where Ten Hag's work's really cut out with this group and with the Glazers, because he's got to make sure he picks the right ones to leave and the right ones to come in. And they've got to keep investing, because we might go on 3 or 4, 5 game winning streaks. We will get some good results against great teams like yourself, but we are never going to be back to the pinnacle. We're never going to get to where City are. We're never going to get back to title races until so many fundamentals at the club are fixed. So Man United fans have got to temper themselves from thinking that we're back and we're at the peak of our powers, because we're nowhere near it yet. We're absolutely nowhere near it. And we should feel very, very embarrassed today. I'm going to go to Super Chats and get more opinions. I want to say before we do, we've got Neeks waiting backstage to come on and have his say. I know a lot of you are calling him out. We're going to speak to Neeks. Neeks is here to maybe answer. I know you're calling out for him to answer to his crimes, but he's here. What are you saying, Neeks?
First and foremost, I have to caveat by saying I didn't actually watch the game, but I knew the comments were going to be calling me out, so I have to be here. So yeah, I didn't watch any of the game. I saw Foden's goal, but that's literally it. So I can't even give an analysis on what's happened. But yeah, we lost the game 6-3, and the 6-3 scoreline. So there's a lot of noise in the background. The 6-3 scoreline flatters us from everything that I've read, everything that I've seen and heard. So I'm not analyzing it based on it was 6-3 or, we scored a few goals, whatever. But to concede 6 in any derby, any game is bad enough. But in a derby where your players should be, they say you shouldn't have to get your players up for a derby. They should be extra motivated. 4-0 down at halftime like we were against Brentford. That alone is embarrassing. I don't need to watch the game to know that's embarrassing. And these players have to take a hard look at themselves. Now, the reality is this season was always, and I think I said this from probably the beginning of the season, we're going to have more results like the Brentford game, where it's going to be maybe a battery, maybe it's going to be high scoring, end-to-end, whatever it is, because we're just not able to play the football that Ten Hag wants. But in a derby, to concede 6 goals, for me, there's no excuse for that. I don't care how good Man City are, there's no excuse for that. The fact that we scored 3 goals, as I think you kind of said it in your opening, it speaks to the same frailties I spoke about with Big Steve on the 12-man show, that this Man City defense is not impregnable. Newcastle showed it. Crystal Palace showed it. If you can be defensively solid, I don't just mean the back 4, but obviously the midfield as well. And from the front, from what, when Dallow's booked in the first half and I'm reading that Anthony's kind of leaving him exposed throughout the whole game, that is not what you need in a game like that. Everybody needs to be working and shifting and moving across the pitch to keep Man City at bay, because you're going to get opportunities on the counter because their defense is not solid. So the fact that we were out the game before we even had the opportunity as a whole to really take advantage of the defensive frailties is very, very disappointing. Haaland shut me up completely. Like, listen, Varane and Martinez, I'm not going to backtrack on the quality of these two players and their partnership. It's been brilliant. I'm not going to backtrack on that. But as I even said, I think it was yesterday, whether Martinez is 5'9" or 6'9", Haaland can score against anyone. He put 3 today. Foden, sensational player. I'm not even surprised by what he's doing. There can be no doubts about Foden's quality. But yeah, Man City, man, I think I'm not going to get in the league now because it's disrespectful to Arsenal, who are top of the league. It's disrespectful. Is it disrespectful to Liverpool? Maybe, I don't know, based on the history. But this is why I think pretty much everyone, maybe barring one, has predicted Man City to win the league, because this is what they can do to any team. And yeah, we've got to go back to the drawing board. It's a slap in the face. If anyone thought we were back, we were ready to challenge on Ten Hag. This is a slap in the face, and we have to make sure we pick ourselves up from here.
We absolutely do. Neeks, I appreciate you coming on, mate. I know it's difficult after a defeat to sort of do that, etc.
Fortunately, there's just not a lot of City fans in the world, so I can actually get over my week.
I will say it as well. I have shared the link with every City fan that ever comes on the Terrace, Daps and Patrick and V and everybody. So if they want to come on, they're welcome to. We've shared it in the comment section.